So in this video, I take my bike from looking like this to something that looks pretty awesome. Stay tuned till after this. The first thing I would like you guys to do is hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that little bell so you can stay updated on whenever I post. So wrapping the frame, it was quite a bit similar to wrapping the forks. If you haven't seen the fork video, go ahead and check that out. I'll put a link to it up in the corner here. But basically, you just want to take your time, cut a piece of vinyl and actually heat it up real good. Now, what you want to do with vinyl is you really don't want to stretch it too much. When you stretch it a lot, it tends to kind of stretch back when you do the final heat on the vinyl itself. So you want to kind of give it a pre-stretch before you start pulling it over like a corner or something like that you want to wrap. So I just decided to do the head tube and a small section of the down tube and the top tube, because that way I could actually match it up with some vinyl when I ran it down the top tube and the down tube. Once you're done wrapping, what you want to make sure you do is heat the vinyl really good on the piece that you just wrapped. That will kind of set the memory of the vinyl, and it'll kind of show you if you stretch the vinyl too much, it'll kind of return to its position. Now, if you do stretch vinyl too much, if you peel it up and actually apply some heat on just the vinyl itself, it should actually pull back to its original form, because like it was telling you, there is kind of a memory on vinyl. Most of the difficult parts of the frame wrapping were the intersections of the tube. I kind of just made it work. It's not the prettiest, but it does work. Like I was saying in the fork video, if I were to do this again, I would actually probably miter out some cuts in the vinyl itself, and that way I wouldn't have to stretch the vinyl as much, because you want to try to minimize stretching. Like I said, if you do stretch, you want to stretch at the beginning and make sure you have plenty of vinyl to work with on the piece that you're working on. Wrapping a bike frame is quite difficult, I will say. The rear suspension mounting point wasn't too bad to do, but it still gave me a little bit of hassle trying to get some wrap in between the two posts where the suspension mounts to. A lot of the same techniques apply to both the fork and the frame. You just got to take your time. And if you look at the pictures at the end here, the back triangle of the bike is actually better wrapped than the front triangle, because I was starting to get it. Now this the RockShox Monarch here, this was the last thing I wrapped, and it was took me a while. It took me almost 2 hours just to wrap the Monarch, and just in this part itself. And it was one of those things that I kind of wanted to be a feature in the middle of the bike, so I wanted it there. The color really doesn't do it justice on the GoPro here, and that's just because I have the light coming in from the window, and then the natural the artificial lights in the house. So, but as you can see, I'm just heating it up quite a bit, pushing out the bubbles, and just slowly going around. Now I have my squeegee tool there and kind of getting into the corners and everything. This fluorescent vinyl is pretty darn near impossible to work with. So I wouldn't suggest using that at all. Just try to get some regular car wrapping vinyl. That's not what this is. It did come out great, and to be honest, you know, I think it would take a tank to get it off. But here I am doing my final treat and just gonna trim it up a little bit using the back of the blade around the shock itself. And finally, here's the reveal of it. It's not perfect by any means, but I will say that I'm thoroughly impressed with the work I did on it. Now, I know some may have comments about it, which is fine, but I did this for less than $60. Most people can't even paint their bike for less than that, let alone do a customized wrap that will actually protect the bike in the long run. So if you guys like my content, like I said, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments.